G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'm Nat. This is my Knackers Yard on a very windy day, so I'm quite glad I'm in the garage or you really wouldn't be able to hear me. I'm going to have at the engine for the XJ650 today. I want to try and get it split down as much as I can. Now, as a reminder, I need to split along the line, which effectively means all the side cases etc. need to come off. I need to get the sump off. I have taken it off before. I've tagged it back on because it wouldn't lay flat. I need to take the oil filter out the bottom to do it. I'm a little bit more aware of what I need to do. I do want to thank Andy, one of the subscribers, for emailing me a link that's effectively got, you know, a fairly pictorial guide. Now it's a 750 not 650, but I'm hoping there's not that much difference. It does do the top end stuff that I don't need to. However, what it's also got is mapping of plates when you take them off. So rather than making the map like that, which I'm going to lose things, it's fine if you're doing one cover, one this, that and the other. But actually I need to do it properly. It also means I can clean up the bolts as well, so I'm going to be doing that. What else have I done? I've sorted this place out, so I've got better lighting. I've moved one of my lights. One of you guys asked about putting LED lights up. I'm fortunate I've got mains power, so I don't need to. I've also had issues with flashing, as in the refresh rate of the camera matching LEDs and getting a constant light surge, and it ruins filming. In classic Nat fashion, I've bodged up my frame. One issue with having this quite so high, which is really comfortable for me, is the fact that my stand for my camera is too short to be up there, so I'm basically getting it out here. Where are you? Clipped up there. Ooh. There we go. Hopefully with better focus, that's the word I was looking for. So what I should do really is take off the sump and the oil pump, but I think just because it's presented this way now, what I am going to do is go through and whip out all the clutch stuff. Now for those that saw the earlier stages of this, I have taken the basket out. It needed some real scraping out to go through the clutch plates, because they were all basically rust welded together. I did bodge clean them. I did bodge in some crappy oil that was actually car oil rather than bike oil, because I wanted to do it super cheap, so I wanted to see whether or not I could salvage them. I could. I got the gears working, but I have ordered I've got them somewhere stashed away, new plates and new clutch discs. No, clutch plates and the metal spacer plates as well. Having strange word thingy today, so I'm going to get those out and I'll just bin them or chuck them to the side for now. But I'm going to need to get that off. I need to get the basket off, because obviously the seam that I need to break goes directly through, so I'm going to have to get that out. Right, so I'm going to get you set up, but I won't actually. I've got to do my normal Saturday routine and drop one of the sprogs off at a club, come back and then get on with that. Cool, catch you in a bit. Right, I'm back. I think I'm set up. So I've got a little, in the back of my folder, I've got a little diagram. I've got the dodgy plastic calipers, but they're fine for this. What I'm going to do is, as I whip them off, give them a quick measure and point out where they come from. I think this is one of the longer ones. Ooh. 46 from left. Don't have any Ziploc bags. I do have those. It's a shorter one. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you do this all the way through. Nor am I measuring particularly accurately, because I know that all of these are the same size except for two which are long ones, and I need to remember which ones they are. So that's that one. Right, so there we go, that's all the bolts out in my best 4-year-old handwriting on a recycled bit of paper with Pikachu on it. So one is 46 and 31, so 2 is 31. So 2 long ones there, and the bottom 2, the rest are all the same. Happy. Bolts all wrapped up, clutch cover written on it. Job, as they say, is a good one. In with all the other bolts. Right, let's see if I can get this top off. If I remember correctly, it's a bit of a pain in the hoop. No, wasn't that much of a pain in the hoop. Not that mucky, because I have taken it off before and it wasn't that bad. Stashed on the shelf. Right, let's get that off. I think it's 10mm if I remember correctly. Yeah. Right. Now, just in case you didn't see my last one, master of zoom. The dot on the outside of the aligns with the dot on the inside, otherwise you will not get the pressure correct. Come on, you swine. There we go, flat roller washer. Sorry. Flat roller washer. Happy. I'm going to keep that open because I'm going to chuck in all of these bits. You can see in there I've got crossed over edges. I just need to lever out a little bit. On both sides, something flat. There we go. Oops. I'm rattling out the clutch plates. Don't really want to do that yet. Easier to undo without a tool than it is because that will naturally try and spin with it, but sorry, just swigging my coffee. That will naturally try and undo So let's go. So fairly obvious which way round it goes now. I should be able to take the whole basket out now. Alright, I put the washer, the nut and the washer in there. Take the whole basket out. Happy. Big fat washer out as well, even happier. Might try and get that centerpiece out with it as well. So let's just, I would like to try and keep all this together. We want to be together. Put it on the side for now. Zoom you back out now. To get the rest of it out, I need to take that central boss out, which means I need to get some decent size. I think they're size 10 if I remember correctly. Bolt them in and it pushes that central boss out, because you can't, you know, there's nothing to grab it with otherwise. I might even have, now in the book, which I should be following, but I've done this recently so I'm relatively content to do without. It does say that these should be, I think, 40mm, which these aren't, they're a bit shorter, but if I remember correctly they're long enough for government work on this. Close enough for government work, I should say. Yeah, you can see it start to push it out already, which is good. I could just zip this in with a power tool, but there are times when I just think hand tools are better. And you can see it wanting to push it out, which is good because that's precisely what I want it to do. Doing for time, not bad. So I'm keeping an eye on time because I've got to pick up my youngest from a club. Right. There we go. So there we go. Stay. So we've got the roller on the outside and that one there. Right. Which should mean that we can just whip the whole piece off. I always forget this little stay that just slides in. Always forget. It doesn't sound like I've done this 100 times. I forgot last time I did it as well. Right, so we're in, and that is the clutch completely out. I can't quite remember what the issue was with the oil pump last time, but I can see the seam. I don't know if you can see the seam. The boss was to get those, and that was it. The manual says about making sure that the oil pump tangs are lined up, so that's the oil pump. You see? No, it's just slightly off shot. So that, as I understand it, is the oil pump down the bottom. And those tangs line into the tangs at the back there. So when it says in the book, make sure it lines up with the tank and you don't crush them, that's what it means. That had me fairly confused for a fair amount of time, it has to be said. But what also has to be said is I'm not a mechanic, nor am I particularly bright at times. It's all very well following the book, but sometimes it does take a little bit of thinking to realise what they mean. Right, so I've got my clutch basket. Let me pull you back out. Whoop. There we go. So that's my clutch basket complete. I'm going to grab a bag and wrap a bag around that because it's going to get dusty. That's all my clutch innards, all lined up there. So I'm going to go grab a bag it up, put it away. In fact, I was talking out my hoop. There's more to do on this yet. So I've got the washer on the inside, I've got the chain attached to the pump. I do wonder if I can remove that without removing the pump, because I should have really taken the pump off already. Generate enough slack there? Probably not. Okay, there we go. Just rolled it off the cogs. As you can see, it looks in good nick. Still got decent teeth on it. There's a roller bearing on the inside that seems to be standing up well. So yeah, it's fairly obvious which way that's going. Okay, cool. Right, now I'm going to bagel this out. Right, so this is a Voyager discovery for me. I've never dug into an engine this deep, ever. So I've rocked the engine back very gently. It's on wood, we should be good. I'm now down to the oil pump. So it's really trying to get this whole piece, you know, flushish. Yeah, or flusher. Because obviously I've got the oil pump that goes through into that central piece. So what I'm going to do is, I can see 1, 2, 3 bolts, undo those and see what happens. I suppose that should give me, if nothing else, a better surface to work with rather than balancing. But we'll see. I'll rack you back up and we'll jump you back in. Right, that's you back in. I'm being a bit careful because I don't really want to start stripping hex bolts at this point. It would be slightly debilitating. And I do have my rattle gun, but for one it ain't great, for two I'm always nervous about using it. There's bits here that have been happily in place for 40 years, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to respond. And if I'm doing it myself, a little bit more tactile. Right, so this is the front one, pretty much out. Rear, pretty much out. I'm guessing as to where this is joined. Should really be digging through the manual more, but I think it's just these three. The filter still looks very clean. Sorry, the filter screen still looks very clean. Should probably be wearing gloves to do this. Now it seems to be coming out as a oneer, only attached on the chain. I'm not quite sure if I can get that off. I don't really want to split it, but I don't have to. Do I have a filter there? Yeah, and we're off. Right, there's an O-ring there. Don't lose that, forget about that. I'm going to have to probably replace it. But, oh, I think one of the bolts fallen out. Right, and again, I want to try and keep that as intact as possible for now, if nothing else. But I need some blue roll. I haven't had any for bloody months. I keep nicking toilet roll from the house, and the missus is going to catch me at some point. That ain't gonna fit in there. That ain't gonna fit in there, that, you fucking idiot. Right, let's go get a proper bag. Right, so following round the seam, I do think it needs to come off before the side plate comes off, is the drive for the shaft drive. Try and get that first central one off. Just pulled it, that, you fucking idiot. Right, so it doesn't look like there's any orientation on that. So what you can see, the bushels look fine, and the teeth look good on that. Right, happy. So that was like that, like that. So for my future reference, Nat, see if we can get this plate off. 13 sloppy, 12. Yeah, we're good. Right, 4 of them, no washers. Difficult to tell whether they've had, doesn't look like they've had any Loctite on them. Now I find this slightly strange. I'll get you off the rack and I'll show you. Right, I find this slightly strange. There's like tabs like you normally have on foldovers, but obviously they're not folded over. I need to consult the manual to go through that and work out how to shimmy that off, because it does look a bit wedged but without breaking it. Alright, a little bit of rubber mallet action and a bit of wood. Mystery may be solved on this. That's why. I've seen this somewhere as well, about that split washer. Right, so it's at 6 o'clock now, and I'll check back. 6 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Are they the same as each other? They are. Right. So I'm just going to carry on gently tapping to see if I can remove that piece. Slight change of plan, not getting any joy with that. I think it's connected to all of the drive. Well, I'm pretty sure it's connected to the drive pin, so I'm going to see if I can get to it first. Let's just whip off this side if we can. Cover. A gap and a bit at the top that I could just get my fingers around then. time because I'll have to go and pick up the youngest soon. Very soon, actually. Escapee oil. Right, I've had to leave the changer in the shifter. Now that is going to have to come out. Just not quite sure how. Right, let's get you a bit zoomed in so you can see. Lighting's not great because the sun's come out. So it seems to stay quite dry at the top, which is interesting. Just dump that down the bottom there for now. Right, let me take you off here. I'm going to have a quick look and then I need to grab Kitty. Right, there we go. Let's put you at the correct angle, I suppose. So you've got the main shaft drives coming through, so I am going to have to fucking take that out. In fact, I am going to have to get through to that side because they look familiar. Yeah. Right. I have to go and grab. I have to stop now. Go and grab youngest. I think next off. It's the last of the cases, so at least I can get the cases off to this side. I've got a horrible feeling I need to take that one off as well. With the pickup coil, etc, etc. Right, let's get on with it. Right, and it's much later. It was my youngest birthday in the week, so we've just had half a house full of screaming 9-year-old girls. She's got loads of things for her birthday. I think I've got tinnitus. I did manage to have a look at the book between rounds of silly games and things. It was the gear selector mechanism that I need to take off, which I have. I've kind of taken a couple of photos of kind of midway through, so I remember how roughly it goes back on, and I'll chuck them up while I'm talking rubbish here. Now looking at the actual main drum itself and looking at the manual, 14.3, hold the driven middle gear housing into the crankhouse, etc. Right, so I think I just might need to slacken those off to start with, which is what I'm going to do next. Let's get you set up. Right, let's give this a go. Yeah, my ears are ringing. Oh, fuck me. Daytime drinking is not a good thing, but with all them girls, Jesus. Oh. I feel some movement in it. Jamming a screwdriver in against an aluminium housing, but I think I have a pop. Let's stick my head torch in so I can see what's going on. It's now off the gearing behind it. plastic wedge somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Be gentle. That is snug. There we go. Still moving nice and clearly. I'm not sure what you can see. Mucky as you like, but I'm there. Bearings all look good. Right, so that should at least theoretically go in with the rest of the, what am I calling, the main drive. Incorrectly, that's the book called it. Middle gear assembly. Right. Put all of that away. In what looks like a party bag, actually, having just been filling them. Middle gear back. Selectors. Right, now the next piece to get into that main gear is the removal of those 1, 2, 3, 4 torques. Now you can see they're staked in, which means I'm going to have to drill them out. Not drill them out, but drill those stakes out. Probably. Yeah. And then the only piece I've really got left before I can split it is the alternator, which I might take the case off now, but I don't think I've really got time to do that. Might be a tomorrow job. But let me see, I'm going to have a quick look at those hexes and see what the score is with them first. And they've gone. I didn't bother drilling them out. Frankly, I was too scared, so I just twisted them out. Yeah, I was supposed to get new ones before they go back in, so I'll have to try and remember. And then stake them back in. So that's the 2 plates behind it, and that's the main drive there. Now I can't get that out until it's split, it says so in the book, but at least I've got it splittable. I think I might try and get the alternator cover off and then knock it on the head for this one, and then hopefully leave the next one as alternator dismantling, and then hopefully splitting the 2 halves and finding that pesky starter clutch. Let's just whip those off and see what it looks like. Right, and there we go, that's the covers off for the alternator and the stator. I've taken the pickup coil off the case because obviously it's attached. Alternator looks fine, actually. It looks quite clean within there. Stator less so. Oh, it doesn't look too burnt. Now I think we're going to start hitting specialist tool time or ingenious nap piss around times, because obviously if I'm trying to undo that, the whole thing's going to spin. But we can but try. But I'm going to call it a day there. That's a fair amount done by getting it vertical, or getting it the right way up. It did piss oil everywhere, so my shelf was now holding a drip tray. Some of it missed. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm doing, but I'm getting there. And I'm following the book, which is the main thing. Right, that'll do me. Next part of this, hopefully tomorrow, depending on how things go. I want to get the rest of this out and try and split down this engine in two to get to that starter clutch. That'll do me. Apologies, it's been a long one, but this is a long old process. A long old process. Cheers all. I'll catch you later. Ta-da.